Welcome to the LAGGSPIKE podcast. I'm your host, Mike Chalice. With me, as always, we have the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
How's it going?
Mr. Gloom and Doom himself, Sam Landry.
Squawk.
And the guy on the right is Josh Quigley. That's enough said about him. Moving on. What we want to talk about before we go over what we've been playing this week is, first, as always, gamer support gamers page at gaminglag.com. It is a way for, if you have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, a gaming-related website, or podcast or anything of whatsoever, we would like to have you on our website as a way for other people to find you. So you go to gaminglag.com and go to the Gamer Support Gamers page and fill out the application. We add everybody once a week, and we feature 4 people every week because of this. And the 4 people we are featuring this week is Jolly Cooperation, which has a YouTube channel, Dynamic Do-Over, which is YouTube and Twitch, Lucky Ace Man, which has a Facebook page, and Tropical, which has a YouTube channel. All of those are on the main page, and so you can get to their pages that way, or you can go to the Gamer Support Gamers page and look at, we have over 100 people now that are all doing that, and hopefully it's a community of people trying to help each other out. That's what we're trying to create. Next, we are going to go over Extra Life, which Matt is going to go over without fault.
I promise nothing. See? Promise nothing. So Extra Life is a charity event that we're going to be taking part of in November. It's to support the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. If, as a collective team, we do raise $20,000, the man with the beard will be the man without the beard, and we'll also be baking my head. The eyebrows are staying. That's where we're leaving it at with that. Anybody can join our team. It's completely open. You just go to the Gaming Lag Extra Life page. If you can't be part of the team, you don't have the time to raise the money, you can donate to us there. Besides that,
perfect. Just remember, guys, it's a very, very good cause, and for anybody that is trying to promote gamer positivity and things like that, there is no better way. Extra Life goes to, as Matt said, Children's Miracle Network hospitals. There is no better cause than that, in my opinion. These hospitals are completely funded by these different types of fundraisers, and Extra Life is a great way to meet other gamers like yourself that just, want to have fun doing games and not want to trash that type of trash the name of gamers, I guess.
Yeah, and on top of that, the amount of funding that these hospitals get through these things is ridiculous, and they need it.
And they absolutely need it. The procedures and stuff that they do for families are amazing. As we get closer to November, we are going to be doing a stream where, if we do reach our goals, we will stream Matt's hair removal process on the stream, but it's going to be in our apartment. Everybody's going to be, me and Sam are going to be here for the full 24 hours. And the other Gaming Lag members and people that are going to be local are going to be stopping by here and there. We're going to be playing all sorts of different games. It'll be a 24-hour Twitch stream of the room, so it'll be good. And hopefully you guys can all join us. Remember, you do not need our permission to join our team and raise money for us. You just go to the gaminglag.com Extra Life page, register your name, and pick our team to join. Simple as that. And last but not least, we are going to go over our swag shop, which is the easiest way to support us as a website. As of right now, what's better than doing donations? Buying swag, and the proceeds go to us. So if you go to gaminglag.spreadshirt.com or just click on shop on gaminglag.com, it'll direct you there. We have some really, really cool designs, some Gamer Support Gamers designs, some Gaming Lag designs, and we will be adding more and more coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweaters, all sorts of different things. So that's the easiest way to support us. And now we'll get to what we've been playing this week. Why don't, Matt, you go first, since you have a list there written of all the stuff you've played?
So I finally tried Heroes of the Storm. I'll start with that because I forgot it before. I'm undefeated.
You're welcome. It's true, though.
Great record, man.
Yeah, 1-0.
No, it's 2-0.
Oh, that's right. You won both games you were with me.
Against robots don't count.
No, it was full-fledged players.
Joking.
No, I know you're joking, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, 2-0.
It was funny because he did nothing. He ran up and distracted them, and I was Nova and just killed everybody that he was fighting.
That's what you told me to do, so that's
I
what
know.
I did.
Absolutely.
Matt,
it was
you
a
make
good strategy.
very good distraction.
Yeah.
We also saw that in Helldiver. Oh, wait, no, that was you.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Played some more Helldivers, so we're going to have some more Let's Plays of those up. Played some more Diablo.
No comment.
So yeah, great Let's Play of that going to be going up this week.
Yep.
Played some more Borderlands. after much money and some time spent researching, GTA is now working for Sam and I to join other people. So we finally get to play some heists.
You enjoy that?
So
Heists are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So definitely hit us up on Twitter and on Xbox to if you're looking for heist mates.
Yeah.
I'm often on. I like.
There's
GTA.
a lot of people that tweet us and stuff about how we don't play a lot on Xbox. So there you go, guys. These two are playing GTA.
And for the people that I promised I was going to try Neverwinter 2, GTA kind of took over for a bit there. But Neverwinter is downloaded. We'll play some. I played some Bastion, played some Destiny, watched Furious 7, so played some more Forza, Fast and Furious.
Yep.
That's about it.
Sounds like a pretty good game list, I think, for 1 week.
Yeah.
Josh, why don't you go over? I know you've been busy.
Don't worry, I wrote my list down.
Yeah, the two? Is there two?
Yeah, there's two.
Okay.
But I wrote it down.
Josh has been incredibly busy at work, so his gaming has been limited, unfortunately. But he does decide to come here every Monday just for you folks.
Just for you.
And Thursdays.
And the illusion's gone.
I like that you're still holding to that, though. Yes,
absolutely.
And Thursday. I come on Thursday, too.
Absolutely.
So I played Dragon Ball Z, Xenoverse.
Okay.
Finally got to Frieza
Right on.
with my level 25 character.
Yeah.
Got myself...
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah. Probably an easy fight.
It wasn't that hard.
Nope.
There was no controller throwing.
Yep.
And I played some Destiny.
All right.
Which is always sometimes a good time.
Absolutely. Sam, why don't you go over what you've been playing, bud?
Forza Horizon, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Destiny, Borderlands, Helldivers, Diablo.
Oh yeah, I played Helldivers.
Yeah, you did.
A whole whackload of GTA and
That one down.
like 30 hours in Shadows of Mordor
Nice.
doing that. And
Shadows is a great game.
Then on the PC, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm. What else?
You're waiting for your gaming
Hearthstone.
PC now, eh?
I'm waiting for a
It's
case.
all ordered.
No, it's all here except the case.
I thought you had a case.
Yeah, just let's not get me started on
Yeah.
that. Blood has been shed. What's now
Mostly
you
his.
derailed me. Thank you.
Shadows. Last thing. You said was
Shadows.
or League.
League. I did show up in Final Fantasy for like 5 minutes.
Nice.
See what was new. Walked around there for a bit, and may or may not have access to Overwatch. I will find out shortly.
Nice.
So
That'll be fun,
Stay
especially
tuned.
with your new computer on it.
stay tuned for
basically
that,
here.
people. I will keep you posted.
So I have been playing quite a few games this week. I played quite a bit of Heroes of the Storm. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm going to say this now. I actually do think that game will be bigger than League of Legends when it gets officially released and stuff. It is more accessible. There is less toxicity in the community. There is still people in the community that aren't very nice and that aren't. When you're playing with people like who are, the game is still in beta, you can't really be mad that people don't know how to play. Matt joined in for the first time, and yes, of course, he's not going to be good. He's never played a MOBA, period. So, but it is more accessible as far as the abilities. You don't have to worry about items, all that stuff. I will say this now, I think it will beat League of Legends.
I think my exact words to him when he asked, "How do I play the game?" I was like, QWER
Yep.
and your mouse. That's it. That's
Well,
all you need.
it's not. You're right. Absolutely. For controls, it's very basic, but you have to really understand the whole cat and mouse game of, okay, is this worth a kill, or am I going to die if I do this because that's not worth it?
You mean guerrilla style? You run over there, hit a bunch, run away.
Well, that's what
Run
Nova
over
does. Nova doesn't even go in. She just stays in the bushes, and I shoot
Man.
people and then run away.
Have you played with Tygus on your side yet?
I haven't played with Tychus myself, but I've played
Oh.
with people who played Tychus, and he's pretty OP.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand
Anyway,
there and
reeling it back in because I got a big list of things, but Heroes of the Storm's really good. I still have 3 beta keys if anybody wants to get into the beta. Nobody else has messaged me, so yeah, let me know on Twitter. Hearthstone, I've been playing that a little bit, not a whole lot. Destiny, I did play a decent amount of that. I'm back onto that now that I am done. Axiom Verge, which I completed this week. Man, that game is really, really good, really, really Metroidy. But,
So a word of advice for anybody.
yeah.
You don't necessarily need to play the game, but I highly recommend being in a chat party with somebody who is playing the game.
how many
Yeah.
tentacles at one point?
4 tentacles, man. I had them all coming out of my body and stuff. It was cool. They were shooting red pellets at things.
Because we were playing Destiny while he was playing that.
He's like, I
and,
got another tentacle.
Yeah.
That's all I heard.
I played some Helldivers as well and some Diablo for some Let's Plays. Did play some Bastion for a Let's Play Indie, which you'll see later this week. Played some Borderlands, which I've never played Borderlands before. Picked up the Handsome Collection on these two, Matt and Sam's recommendation. And I like 2 a lot so far. The pre-sequel I do like, but not quite as much. And Dragon Age I jumped in last night. It took me about 30 minutes to get back to where to sort of understand where I was, because the game is so big, and any sort of those fantasy games that come out is you kind of jump in. If you leave it for any stretch of time at all, you go back and you're just like, what the heck am I doing? And that was sort of my reaction.
Party.
Yeah. Now we'll move on to the news.
Or
Is that it? Are you sure you're done?
No, because there's the other thing that the podcast is going to be about that we didn't tell them about.
Right. Yes. So we're actually not going to talk about video games this week. We're only going to talk about Daredevil on Netflix because it is like one of the best shows of the year.
Hey guys, I quit.
Just a special shout out. Just a special shout out. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Very, very good show. Now we'll move on to the news.
Okay.
First bit of news we have, and unfortunately we'll be going over it to more extent in our Last Word podcast because it is Destiny news, but we do have on Thursday, apparently, because Sam still thinks everybody's under the illusion that we don't record this on the same day.
Listen, Santa Claus is still real.
To all the children out there, he is.
Yes.
Obviously,
House of
come on.
Wolves is coming out.
Don't
It
come
was
like
announced May 19th. As I said, we're going to go more into that in our Destiny podcast. That's all we're going to mention, but that is really relieving news to people who have been playing Destiny for a long time. Next bit of news we have is GTA-based drama has more details revealed, going to be based on the development of the franchise, not the games themselves. Rockstar has not been contacted based off of a book called Jacked. Yeah?
Yeah.
Big announcement this week from Square Enix. They were sort of going viral on Twitch a little bit how long was it? Like 3 days or something?
3 days.
3 days of being able to choose what direction you wanted to go and with the video and things like that. Turns out it is a new Deus Ex game that is coming out. It is called Mankind Divided. Looks really cool. The trailer definitely doesn't promote stealth.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. I'm just saying, like, I
It
played.
definitely looks like it's getting more and more action.
This is the weird thing. So, Human Revolution, I actually really liked it when I played it, and I beat it, and I didn't stop playing it until I beat it. But after I beat it, it's not one of those games that I talked about, like, literally ever again. But I'm sort of indifferent about this announcement. I'm excited to have another Deus Ex, but does anybody else have that same, like, sensation where they haven't even thought or even remotely thought about Human Revolution since you played it?
I have.
Yeah?
I liked it.
I liked
Loved
it a lot. I'm not saying I didn't.
No.
Most of the time when I play a game and I really enjoy it, I talk about it for a while. Hence why Josh ended up getting the order and things like
Well,
that. Like, I talk about it.
It's been what? It came out in early 2010, early 2011.
Yeah, something like that,
It's
yeah.
been a couple years, so
Yeah.
it makes sense at this point that no one's talking about it as much.
Yeah, I suppose.
Where
It was a really well done game, but it didn't really have. I didn't find it had the story where for weeks after. Like, I remember you
Maybe
lent
it
it
was
to me
'cause-
once you were done.
I mean, maybe it was because the ending was so disappointing, because that was really bad.
Yeah, the ending really didn't live up to.
Spoilers, you beat
mean-
that last thing, and it's like, pick an ending.
pick a button.
Pick a button, and that'll do the
Things will
ending.
do something.
Yeah.
I wonder if any franchises could have learned.
Huh. I'm not getting into it. Moving
Yeah.
on.
So the Phantom Dust reboot, which was shown, I think at
E3
E3 last year,
E3 last year.
has been pulled from Darkside. Matt, you have a little bit more details on that, I think.
So, Darkside's,
Wasn't it
Developer.
switched to Darkside?
it sounds like it was given to them to do. When Microsoft actually showed it, they didn't actually say it's being done by Darkside or anything. The $5 million that they said it was going to be not, it's going to take more money than that to actually get it rebooted, remastered, whatever they're doing with it.
Yep.
So Microsoft's just basically been like, no, you're done.
Yeah. So kind of good that Microsoft actually does things like that, because most people would just sort of release it and hope it did something. It is nice to see that a big corporation like Microsoft is saying you're not doing anywhere near the job that we were expecting you to do, so
You're fired.
you're fired.
Third place, you're fired.
Right. Next bit of news we have: Bound by Flame developer has a new RPG in the works called Technomancer with a 2016 release window.
Yay.
It looks awesome.
It
sounds
does.
awesome.
It does look awesome.
Yeah. You know what else looked awesome?
Bound by Flame.
Bound by Flame.
It got okay reviews, but I never actually
Have you
touched
played it?
No, I haven't played it.
Okay.
It was one of those games that sort of was
Yeah.
on the shelf, and I was like, I've never heard of that before.
I was super excited and did a digital download because I was at home.
yeah.
And it's not that it was a bad game per se,
It was, but
Yeah.
but it
Anyway,
was
well,
such a
alright.
forced game.
Yeah.
Now, can I say it? No?
Sure.
I like it. All right.
You like it? Is that all you want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So for all the Call of Duty fans out there, Black Ops 3 was announced. Full reveal
April 26th.
April 26th. So, I've liked the last two.
I think
I enjoy
I
them.
think the problem was everybody really wanted it to be an older style war game, and I think it's already been leaked that it's future weapons again.
Yes, it's basically Terminator the game.
So everybody's been saying that they don't want exosuits.
It's not exosuits.
I know, but everybody's been saying that.
A lot of people, from what they're guessing and reading, it's going to be Deus Ex Call of Duty style.
Well, Treyarch.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Treyarch. Treyarch is definitely, I think, the most favorited.
They're
like,
arguably the best out
right.
of the three.
And I think a lot of that has to do with their zombies that they came up with. Like, I know people that don't touch anything except for they buy it and only play zombies.
They're really great for World at War.
Yeah. Everybody really wanted World at War II, including Matt.
I know
He's
this
gonna be
was
all
like
right.
back when you were a teenager. Muskets are not a thing anymore. Get it over. Get over it.
Actually, to my recollection, there's only really been one game that's done full-on musket warfare, and that was done by the History Channel, and it was hated because each shot took like 3 minutes.
Yeah. Now that's an exciting game.
All right.
It was.
So that's a pretty big announcement. Obviously, we were expecting it.
it's supposed to be World at War II.
I know that's what you
Oh my
wanted.
God.
That being said, though, as much as I do enjoy some like the campaigns and things like that, holy crap, do they ever need to stop doing one every year? I know they keep selling, so they're not.
They're
but-
every 2 years now.
No, they're not. They're every year now. They have a 3-year cycle.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It's not a year per developer.
No, they have 3 developers each.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
know.
still a
They,
different
I know
Call
they
of
take
Duty.
the time to make the game. I'm not disputing that.
You mean you don't want to Call
have-
of Duty every year? Is what
right.
you're saying.
I just-
there you go.
They
Yeah.
have the time
well
to rehash the
It's fine.
multiplayer and throw together a campaign.
Because April
Yeah.
of next year we'll be hearing about Ghost 2. Because Ghost 1 was such a big success.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of people. There was a lot of hate on Twitter when this announcement came out that it was future weapons and Black Ops. Black Ops 3 was liked. Then it was future weapons, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, no! Please don't put exos in it." And I don't think it will. But next bit, want to give feedback to PlayStation for new features for upcoming firmware. You can direct your tweets at Toshimasa_Aoki. Aoki.
So that guy's phone,
Just blew up.
internet, everything is just going to
blew up.
implode
For the next 2 weeks, he's just going to be reading tweets.
in the next 8 months.
It's just going to be coming into work going, so much feedback. So Nintendo just partnered up with a big mobile company in Japan called DNA. And after that announcement, they were hit with massive layoffs in San Francisco and Vancouver offices. Probably, my guess is that because Nintendo partnered up with them, they're now going to be very streamlined, focused on making Nintendo mobile games. So they probably don't need the amount of staff that they have to do all these other crap
Well,
mobile
no,
games.
it's Nintendo gave them this much money, and they're like, well, we're going to be throwing so much of this money towards employees. Hey, we can cut those.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nintendo's
Let's
kind of
hope
being
they use
Nintendo's
a
being
better logic than that.
Definitely, but
Nintendo's being painted in a pretty bad light now with their new like YouTube rules and things like that, and pulling videos off of YouTube, and like it's very Nintendo's not normally like that. They're normally very like,
they're
hey,
the fun console.
you know, power to the players and all this other stuff. They're supposed to be the they're supposed to be the fun
the
console.
first problem they did is cancel Nintendo Power. So no more power to the players.
Yeah, I know that, but that's what
Okay,
I'm
this
saying.
is a really, really old complaint.
yeah.
It was also really bad.
Were you alive then?
But does anybody
Yes, I was. Thank you.
does anybody else like that? Nintendo
What?
isn't like that to me, right? So when I think of Nintendo, I think of player games, show them to your friends, play with everybody in your household, play with your friends down the street. We want that.
Well, when you think back to like when the first Mario parties came out, like they were really,
Yeah.
they were the fun console.
It was a party game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very
See, this is why I've been looking at you like this. Is the bad puns.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, it goes so against what in my mind, and I assume yours, Mike, since
Yeah,
you seem to
absolutely.
be of like mind on this, so against the image that I have built up in my head of Nintendo.
And that's what disappoints me so much is that they have all these amazing games and they screw a lot of things up.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Moving on to the next bit of news. New indie game Crawl has approval from Valve to use Gabe Newell as a boss. That's pretty awesome, I think.
I hope he's just standing there
I wonder
with
if
two
they-
knives, and there's a computer in the back that has Half-Life 3 on it. When you
And the
kill him-
actual end of the game is you cannot pass Gabe Newell.
no, you can't beat him. If you beat him, you get Half-Life
I
3.
wonder if the
No.
character you play is the guy who threatened him.
I almost guarantee you have to like hit the button twice and then wait. And then hit the button twice and then wait. And I swear, if you hit the button that third time,
Yeah. It's done.
insta death.
If you guys don't remember EA Access, the next EA, it is a subscription
What?
service, I believe, from EA. The next title has been announced. It is NHL 15. No surprise there. We're getting close to E3.
NHL 15.
We're
16.
going to be NHL 16 and NBA 16 and all that stuff will be announced. EA's PGA Tour doesn't have the Masters tournament in it. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Sort of the biggest tournament of the year.
Okay.
So EA's really dropping the ball on that. I think there's another developer making a golf game now.
I think so.
I think
Hey,
so.
we're doing
Yeah, but it's-
hockey, but we dropped the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, basically. You don't have the playoffs. You just have the regular
you
season.
just have the
Yeah.
you have the major juniors instead.
This is our and this is Madden. This is Madden 16. We don't have the Super Bowl. Same idea.
Don't worry, you can get up to it.
no. You can get what's the one here? It's called the
Grey Cup.
Grey Cup.
The Grey
It's like
Cup.
we have the Grey Cup.
Nobody
instead.
knows what that is, Sam.
No one.
The next bit of news is actually incredibly frustrating because it's something Nintendo continues to do. And with this game, everybody sort of hoped it was going to be a change of pace for them. But Splatoon is going to be launching with no chat during game due to toxicity and negativity in online games.
I think that's fair though.
It is fair as a statement. I don't know how you play a third-person strategic shooter without communicating to people. Like, it's literally just going to be run in and shoot paint everywhere, and you can't work out strategies with people unless you're in the same room.
Call
The
of Duty.
game looks really cool. That's enough for me to. I'm probably going to go another route for games as far as that goes because there's no way I'm going to be able to play without talking to people. Looks like a really cool game. I was actually going to try and convince like either Matt or Sam to get it, and they have a Wii U here. But I'm probably going to go The Witcher now, for sure, even though I was leaning that way anyway. But, yeah, so that's very frustrating. Nintendo does have to work this out because I know they don't want negativity and things like that. But if they continue to do this, games like Splatoon won't be successful. It'll be incredibly infuriating when, random person's
Well,
just
no.
shooting at one wall.
That's fine. They just have to release a really rare amiibo for like $80 and everyone will buy them.
They're going to become a toy company exclusively soon because amiibos are insane. Like, they're locking people out of content because there are people that don't even care about the statues. They just want the costumes in their games. And you can't get, like, as an example, the next Mario Kart DLC has a Animal Crossing level. And if you have the villager amiibo, you can actually unlock costumes and stuff like that in it. And you can't get villager anywhere. Unless you pay $100 or whatever on eBay. It's ridiculous.
People will play it. Pay it.
Yeah.
Not play it.
Next bit of news, we got Xbox to work on energy saving mode for next update. I guess that's good. New Monster Hunter game stories in development for 3DS. That'll always be popular because Monster Hunter is big. I still haven't touched it though, surprisingly enough. It sounds like it's right up my alley. I used to play the original Monster Hunters back on like PlayStation. So was that? I think that was the game where you could put random discs into your PlayStation and it would create a monster for you. Is that? I'm thinking about the right game. Sure.
I don't know.
Probably more up Matt's alley, but Lego Dimensions was announced. It's coming out September 27th, so there'll be another.
or better.
Bad.
That's a bad.
It's another game that involves toys that you have to buy statues for, but they're going to create it in the Lego Movie universe. So they're going to
Everybody else is making money. Why not us?
that is
I don't want
the ultimate truth, right?
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
It's
Go to the
really,
reef.
it's really bad.
We just
though.
got to make friends with the
The
cabal.
reef is a scary place right now.
The reef is a scary place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine. She's opening it up to the Guardians.
yeah.
Yeah, wrong podcast.
Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's has its rights picked up by Warner Brothers for film adaptation. That is
Whole
one
lot of
game.
nope.
That is one game I really, really wish I had a PC to play because I really want to play it. It's
What am I, chop liver?
I don't want to play it. I
don't
want to
have it at
watch
my
Matt
house.
play it.
I want to play it.
Yes, but we can set it up in the living room and stream it. And
Yeah,
have
I'm good with that.
awesomeness.
I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
there
I'll
you
come
go.
over
And
one
watch
day.
Matt
Boom.
play it. That's all I
Yeah,
really care.
that's all we do.
No.
Yes.
Matt's not doing the horror game.
Yes, you
All
are.
right.
With
it's
jump
funnier.
scares, Matt. You love
It's
jump
funnier.
scares.
Jump
So
scares
much.
and a lot of
So
blood.
this next bit of news was sort of met with controversial. I don't even know what you'd call that. Controversy. There we go. Thank you, Matt. So the Witcher 3 developer has announced that the expansion pass will be $25. There will be 2 expansions that are included with that. The first one being a 10-hour campaign, and then second one being a 20-hour campaign.
It's actually already available on.
It came out alongside all the free DLC that they had already announced, but this developer is very famous for giving all of their extras for free. The difference is they're justifying the expansions as something different, but the reason it was met with controversy is because most people were like, why are you charging us for this now? You haven't the last 2 games. I think that's a little bit unfair if they're giving you 10 and 20 hours of content.
Guys, it's
That's pretty
also
fair.
a 200-hour game.
Yeah.
Quit your bitching. There are some
Yeah.
games that are 5 minutes long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
5 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
Talk about that later.
Yeah, absolutely.
At a 200-hour game.
Yeah.
Plus 10 hours of content for $25.
No,
And
30.
30,
30,
30,
expansions.
right.
30,
Yeah.
30 hours of content. Yeah, for
30
$25.
I mean, you're not paying $1 an hour at that point.
Are
No.
you getting it?
I'm
getting-
Because
Getting-
it seems something
Yeah.
definitely down your alley.
Yeah.
I'm
100%.
definitely getting
It
The
is-
Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
I'm-
100%
I-
my style video game.
It seems a little bit more up my alley. Dragon Age is a little bit more like, okay, this is more like a hack and slash-ish type thing.
I
So
do
I like
have
a bit of
that.
everything.
I do have my pre-order code on my phone. So.
Yeah. But I think
Got it
people...
for $1.
I do understand the sort of
Got it
the
for
opinions and stuff. I don't understand why they don't understand that it's 30 hours of content for $25. That doesn't seem like a lot of money to
It's
me.
less than $1 an hour.
The speed run was just done of this game, guys, and it took 25 hours to do a speed run. That's more than almost every single game other than maybe Dragon Age without doing a speed run. So that's
huge.
It's a lot of content.
It
and
looks,
Dragon Age, while in the same style atmosphere, is a very, very different game.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
The only thing that really annoys me is that the gameplay trailer, on a very, very souped up PC is what they filmed that
Yeah.
on. So it's like nothing will look that good on those
I'm
PCs.
100% okay
That's
with
not
that.
uncommon.
But no, but it's,
Yep.
it's crappy. It's like you're giving that expectation that people get it. It's like, oh, this looks like something that was built in 2002.
Moving
Well, it
on
was.
from Witcher
It's just
3
been pushed
news,
back.
the GTA 5 version for PC that's coming out will have its own video editor, so you can actually...
Also, a really big piece of news. It is 7 discs long for a physical copy. 7 discs. I think that's the biggest game.
I
like,
guess
for-
I guess you couldn't do it on Blu-ray, right? You have
No.
to put it on DVDs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
60.
It's been a while since we've had a
5
massive game like that limited to DVD.
65 gigs.
Yeah. That's humongous.
I'm expecting Star Citizen. What is it going to be?
The only
18
thing
discs?
the only thing that's bigger I remember was World of Warcraft if you were somebody who had to go buy the original copy and like the first expansion Burning Crusade, and because it was like 5 discs for the first version and then 2 discs for Burning Crusade and then 2 discs for
Yeah.
Wrath. Holy crap, that was big.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the next bit of news we have is Epic, the Gears of War developer, has a 60-minute gameplay trailer for Fortnite.
No one decided to tell me this?
No.
Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Yes. The 60
Sam?
minute
We found out like 5 minutes before you get home.
Sam.
Okay, that's fine.
There's a 60-minute gameplay trailer of Fortnite. You
Okay.
know now.
Okay, well, I'm watching that between now and Thursday.
Okay. yeah. The Order
so
1886.
painful.
The Order 1886 has a photo mode now. I think if you
Oh,
are going to
good.
put a photo mode in any game, that's probably one of the better ones to do it in because it is gorgeous. No doubt about that.
So you can take pictures
Yeah.
of you looking at
Yeah.
objects.
You can take a picture of you looking at a picture that has no relevance to the video game.
Can't
And-
you pick up Sackboy too?
That boy's in the order.
Yeah, I
you can
know.
pick 'em up, yeah,
Okay,
that's what I'm
so the next little thing is something that it's actually it's positive in my opinion because the developer actually listens to its community. Codename Steam came out, and the biggest gripe that people gave it was that you couldn't fast forward through the enemy movements, and it took a really long time. They have already added that. That game's been out for 2 weeks.
A month?
3 weeks probably.
3 weeks to a month.
And they
month,
already
yeah.
have an update. It allows fast forward. It is live now. That's a huge plus. That means there are developers out there that care about the feedback they get. And last but not least, 2.2, the 2.2 update for Diablo is live on consoles, which includes more treasure goblins, more legendaries, and more bounties, and a new type of bounty. Which is good.
And how do you feel about that update? How did it treat you?
Well, it treated me all right. I got a legendary pretty much right away, the same one that Matt got right before me. And,
but before that, what happened?
oh yeah, it deleted the stuff we got the last Let's Play we did. So that was wonderful.
Still no comment.
Yeah. So we'll move on to
Wait,
some.
I do have a PC news that I want to
Okay.
mention.
What did you want to mention?
So, for anyone who's a fan of a little company that released a game in 2009 called Killing Floor, Tripwire Interactive's Killing Floor 2 will be early access on Steam on the 21st of this month.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
if you can pay that, you get the whole game. You get 4 maps, you get a bunch of guns, a couple perks and everything, and then as
They add it.
support,
Yeah.
you will eventually
Yeah.
get the
I
whole
really
game
like
released
the
and
high
everything.
frame rate for weapons. in
200
that.
frame rates for the
Yeah.
weapon. It makes it look gorgeous. So definitely look into that. It will be also out for PS4 when the game is complete.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's exciting then.
It is exciting.
We're going to move on to some emails before we close out with our topic of the week. First one comes via Twitter. I guess first thing I'll mention is if you want to send emails into the show, we appreciate all questions, whether it be gaming in general or Destiny, which will go for our Last Word podcast. Send them to gaminglag.com/contact, or just go to the site and click contact us, or gaminglag@hotmail.com. We will also accept some questions on Twitter, depending. We do get a lot of notifications and stuff, so sometimes we miss them. We do prefer them via email. Anybody who sends a question in, it does not matter if I read them. If you send them via email, I will add you into the draw in May, which will include a copy of Assassin's Creed Black Flag for Xbox One Digital. We have a prize that's coming from
Nope, it's not. No.
We have a prize that's coming
No.
from a fan.
It's
Matt,
not
you're not
happening.
stealing it.
No, it's not happening. It's going to be shadow boxed here in the
We
apartment.
have a
Wait,
prize
no,
coming
wait,
from a.
Matt. Wait.
Nope.
I feel a trade-off for eyebrows involved here.
Oh, yeah. I think he would do it.
And we
too.
need to lower the quota to $5,000.
Would he do it
No.
though?
No.
I think
No.
he would do it.
No.
Not for
Not
5,000.
So,
I would shave
All
my. You want to shave
seriousness-
my eyebrows? They'll keep it. How about that?
All
I'll do it.
seriousness, Amanda Parizo, who has been a big supporter of the show, and a shout out to her, and we really appreciate it. She's sending us a Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show prop. It's a badge that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. use in the actual show. It's from her Loot Crate. She is sending that to us. And we are going to include that in there, as well as a little bit of gaming lag
I still
swag.
think as soon as we get it here, Matt was going to sleep with it in his bed.
That's interesting because it won't be coming here until we and actually it'll never come here. That's probably no
That's
kidding.
the safest option.
So
doesn't trust
on to
He'll
the
take a
question.
picture of it,
On
we
to
can put a
the
picture on the
question.
table.
The question,
We'll do a heist,
which
Matt.
is from Chris Hawkins via Twitter. And this one is, what are your thoughts on reboots? I would like to see a reboot of Vagrant Story. What would you like to see done as a reboot? Now, we did go over this a little bit a few weeks ago, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. Matt's pick was,
Double Dragon.
and
yeah.
Josh's pick was.
Onimusha.
I don't remember mine, but it's going to be Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, and mine was Chrono Trigger is what I'd like a reboot of. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is from Rafael Diaz. And he puts, just simply, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, is it 2010? So Activision, there was a little bit of an announcement today. It teased
Teaser,
Yeah,
trailer.
that it'll be
for
announced tomorrow.
Guitar Hero 4,
Pretty much either going to be Guitar Hero or Band
5
Hero.
or 6.
something like that. Yeah.
I actually want to ask this question. Do you want it to just be guitars, or do you want it to be a full band kit like Rock Band is?
No,
No?
I'd rather just Guitar Hero
Just
again.
guitars again.
Yeah?
Yep.
I miss
Yeah.
that. Guitar Hero
Because
3
rock-
is my favorite.
honest-
Of all of them.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
played that start to finish as soon as I got it.
The Guitar Band or whatever, the Band Hero or whatever, it didn't do as well as Rock Band. I
No.
found it wasn't as good.
Because Rock Band had already established themselves
Exactly,
as the
and-
band experience.
Exactly,
in that
and
case.
Guitar Hero is a lot of people who just want to play the guitar, like our buddy Adrian. He
Yeah.
would easily pick up Guitar Hero over Rock Band. I know he would.
My only concern with that is the stuff that Harmonix and Activision made for Band Hero, the instruments were of much better quality than
Significantly so.
like beyond anything compared to the Rock Band stuff. So I hope when they actually do make the instruments, I
They
would love
take
to
that
see
into
Rock
consideration?
Band with the Guitar Hero quality instruments, because I hated the Rock Band instruments. They
only-
were so fragile. It was
The
insane.
only thing I can see with that is probably instead of being $179 for the whole kit, it'll probably be $279 for the whole kit.
That's the other issue I think we've discussed a little bit is, does
price.
anybody want to pay this much again for that stuff? Basically, we all bought it, I think, at some point, and we just basically threw out our plastic guitars and stuff, or gave them to friends that were still playing it, and they threw it out.
If I have the cash laying around when it comes out, I might consider getting it because I did enjoy it.
I will never
And it
have
would
the
be-
cash just laying around.
But you know, it'd be fun to get all four of us to have the gaming.
It would be a
Lag
really
band.
great stream to do, and
Oh
there'll be
my
lots of
God.
people doing this.
Get
But
Josh singing and
that being said, though, I
La, la,
really
la,
don't
la,
want to pay
la, la,
$200
la.
for another set of instruments. I really don't.
well, you know, that's why we all pitch in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit
La,
easier
la,
that way.
la,
but-
la, la, la,
Come on,
la,
listen to that
la.
voice. The voice of the angels.
Yeah, you want to hear them scales.
Angels being brutally murdered.
Last but not least, one of our biggest supporters, Infamous Sheep, which is one of the best names ever.
Yeah.
Sent in an email which will include our wrap-up topic, which is, what games did you guys grow up on? Do you still enjoy them? And what was your first game? So why don't we start with the last part?
Well,
First game.
I want to also say, you can also always find this information at gaminglag.com under About Us.
Not
We've got most of it there.
Not that what we grew up on. I think we can go into a little bit of backstory for anybody
What's
who
the first
cares.
game we beat or whatnot?
So
Yeah.
first game that we played, does everybody know what they are?
Yeah.
'Kay.
Did you play with a rock and a stick in the cave?
Yeah.
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 No, it's
Josh
rolling.
actually doesn't have any of this information, so he should probably go first because we've been slacking and haven't done that for him yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Go.
I was really hoping for more time to think about it.
Well, we can go with somebody else. That's fine. Matt, why
All
don't you? What's your first game?
First game is Asteroids. Yes, it's that old.
Yep.
Probably. Growing up, first actual console that
No,
I
just first game right now.
First
We'll
game?
do the rest of it. We'll do the
Okay,
rest of it later.
first
We're
game
gonna
was
break this
Asteroids.
down a bit. First game was Asteroids. Josh, your first game, same thing.
No, I can't remember what it was called. It was on the Atari. You were standing on the top of a roof and you were dropping pots on big spiders that were climbing up the building. Any idea what that was called?
No.
No.
Okay, well, that's the game.
Okay. Sam, what was your first game, buddy?
Pokemon Blue.
Age difference here. Mine was actually, I cannot remember which one it was, but oddly enough, my grandfather bought an Atari because he was into technology and he really, really wanted to see what all the hype was about it. So I can't remember if it was Pac-Man or Asteroids, but it was one of those two. I remember it distinctly because he had all the Atari set up on an ironing board hooked up to a tube TV. It was the best.
We had ours set up in... We weren't allowed to have it in the living room, so we had this room that had the pipe from the stove that went up through it.
Oh, yeah.
Like through the center, so we had the TV in one corner, and then we would sit on the other side of the pipe and try not to touch it and burn ourselves.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. So we'll go to the next part of the question. What games did you grow up on? And maybe a little bit of backstory of if there's any interesting stories to go with that. Anybody could jump in. Matt, you go first.
Sam, you go.
Okay,
You
Sam, go
jumped
ahead.
off.
Sam, go ahead.
Think it was on the Sega. I
Okay.
played a lot of. It was a ninja game. I think it was,
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja
I think
Gaiden.
it was
Ninja
the
Gaiden?
first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played a lot of that.
That was
Okay.
a good game.
Got
It was good.
frustrated. And then
Really hard, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So I remember I had to get the guys who gave us the Sega to come over one day and beat a specific boss for me because I couldn't do it. It was funny.
What's the first console you had in the house?
Well, the first game was Pokemon Blue, so it was Game Boy Color.
Okay. All right.
Then after that, it was the Sega.
Okay.
Kind
Right
of
on.
went back a little, but it was worth
Sure.
it.
You have any interesting stories about that other than
well-
not trying to burn yourself on the stove?
Nothing other than not trying to burn myself
Okay.
on the stove. So we started with an Atari.
Yep.
A lot of Super Nintendo with the Mario Duck Hunt combo. Loved
That'd be regular Nintendo then.
regular Nintendo. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say. I
Yeah.
said Super, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, definitely the regular
Super duper.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
With that combo, love the gun for Duck Hunt. I'm surprised we haven't had more decent.
Hey, he's in Smash Bros. That's all that matters.
That's true. That is a fair point.
All right. Anything else while you were growing up? Did you move
well,
on to the Super Nintendo? Yeah.
Well, we moved on. We had a Sega in one house and a Super Nintendo in the other, so I
Sweet.
really got to play
Experience
both.
both?
Best of both
Cool.
worlds there.
Cool. What games did you play growing up there, old
No,
man?
Yeah. Well,
Rolling Rock.
yes, Rolling Rock. Marbles,
First video
and
game I played was
Jacks.
Marbles and Pog.
Oh, Paul!
Pog was great.
Knick Knack Paddywhack.
So I didn't actually have a Nintendo. I actually had an older version of the Nintendo. I had the Famicom.
Yep.
But I grew up. There was Super Mario 3. There was LAGGSPIKE. There was
Basically NES games, essentially.
any NES game. One of my favorite ones though was on Super Nintendo and having the Super Scope.
Oh, that big sniper thing.
I never
Yeah,
got
I
the
remember
Super
that.
Scope. I
never
wanted
got
that so
Now
badly.
the ultimate question: did you have the Power Glove?
I had the Power Glove.
Did any of
Yeah.
you
For us.
play
I also
the
had
original
robot,
Road Rage
which
game?
I forgot about.
I
where
played
you
one
were
on Sega.
The robot? No.
I can't remember if the original one's on Sega. It was
The person who cut my hair bought a Sega just because it had a motorcycle game, and
Yeah,
the
it
guy
was-
was a
it
big
was,
motorcycle.
it was,
Road Rash.
Road
Road Rash.
Road Rash.
I played
Yeah.
the crap out of that too.
I said Road Rage. I meant Road Rash.
Yeah.
the same
was a-
thing.
Yeah.
Same basic idea. You
So,
whip people with chains
my-
as you're riding a bike.
My first gaming story, and I did do a little bit of a blog post about this, was interesting because I didn't have a console until the Super Nintendo, even though my grandfather had the Atari. But I spent so much time at two of my friends' house because they both had an NES. So I was playing Mario 3 on those for the most part, and the Ninja Turtles game. I remember that distinctly because we would never it was so hard.
That was
God.
such
So
a hard
hard.
game.
That was
You had to fight either Bebop or Rocksteady in the first
Yeah.
house or whatever. Oh, man, that was so frustrating.
It was easy
The,
until you got to where the van was. The
Yeah.
stupid bloody
it-
van.
see-
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Sega.
No, on
No,
NES.
the
okay.
It was for Sega
Yeah.
too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it on Sega. I gave a guy my lunch money for a month to buy the game off him. It was great.
Yeah. So
So much of that.
I did that, but when we finally got the Super Nintendo, the first official game that I played a ton of was Super Mario World,
Yes.
Such
which
a
is
good game.
probably my favorite Mario game. I'd say tied with Mario 64.
I think
Nice.
it's between that and Mario 3 for my
Yeah.
favorite.
There's always that distinction, right? So depending on what game you played first, I have fond memories of Mario 3 too,
The frog suit.
but I
mean,
never had the NES, so it wasn't like that for me, unfortunately.
The frog
Man.
suit missed.
So yours would be Sonic because you had Sega.
I had Sega, but let's date myself on how gaming consoles went in my house. Game Boy Color, Sega, Game Boy Advance SP. Then it was a Xbox 360. Then my PC. And then now I have basically every console on the face of the
I
earth.
forget
Yeah.
that you're a child.
It's
I'm
interesting. It's fun when
13.
you become an adult and you have your own money. You can just buy whatever you
Oh
want.
man, I think this weekend I'm going to a flea market and I'm buying a Sega. I'm finding one somewhere.
You say
Don't
that.
buy it from PAX because
Well, no,
those are expensive.
Well, getting to PAX one is expensive.
There's a certain
Yeah.
level of adult that you get to where that's not a thing anymore.
yeah, that's true. There's that little grace period when you're early 20s
Well,
to
you mean-
mid 20s where you're just I can buy whatever I want.
You mean
and
before
then
I've-
life happens.
Well, no, you mean I get married is what happens.
That's expensive too, as I'm finding out. Not that it's not worth it at all.
So you know.
because it is.
Completely worth it.
He's trying to throw you under the bus.
I'm not trying to throw anyone on the bus. That's
That's
what
all
I
right.
hear. It's everybody who's married and has kids tell me, enjoy life right now. It all changes once you get married.
It is worth it,
Everyone
though, in the
says
long
You
run.
will love the other side of the
All right,
fence.
bring it all in. We're going to do some
Grass
Twitter plugs
greener?
before we go because that is the end of our show. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at Chalices. If you want to follow Matt,
At Man W the
if
Beard.
you want to follow Sam,
Mr. Gloom and Doom.
and if you want to follow Josh.
At Joe Quiggle.
And always, you can follow us as a collective group at Gaming Lag, 2 G's in Lag. Visit the website, gaminglag.com. Support everybody on the Gamersport Gamers page on that website. Send us your questions. Support Extra Life. Support our swag shop. And the last thing that I'm saying, which is interesting that these guys have no idea about, is this will be our last episode where we are going to censor all swearing. Every episode from this going forward, we are going to try and dumb it down, obviously, a little bit. But we are going to allow explicits and stuff like that. I saved that for the end of the podcast because, obviously, you know. Oh, yeah. That's right. There's a light.
You did
Didn't realize that at all.
You
Didn't realize
deserve
that at all.
one.
But it'll be the last podcast that we do that. Obviously, we're just not going to start swearing every second word. But it takes a lot of time out of our day to try and edit all of the different curse words and stuff. And it's very hard for all of us as a group. I know you've been good.
I've been doing really well.
Yes, but it's very hard for us as a group to not swear in constantly. I don't swear a lot either. But
Well,
anyway.
you know,
We're going to
I'm a
allow
pirate.
it from
Yeah.
now on. It's a more adult podcast anyway. I mean, regardless anyway. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe not in action,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in age.
Yes, exactly. So that'll be it for the podcast
Am I
this
an adult?
week. Thank you very much for
No,
listening
you're still a child.
and watching every single Monday. Right?
Game Lag.
Anybody? Yeah.